Man,
where you from originally and so forth?
My story is simple. I grew up outside of Seattle, Washington, in the middle of a place called Milton. Pretty much a rural farming area when I grew up. I went to Cow Pie High of about 300 people, maybe 100 people in my graduating class.
Wow.
And I think the only brother, for about 100 miles was my band director.
No kidding.
Yeah. And he was the one that really hipped me to, kind of got me off started in the funk, R&B, big power, big bands and things like that. He was instrumental in doing that. I just got out of high school. I wanted to play, and couldn't see any real magical way, but the Army offered me a job playing the flute, so I took that for a few years, and just played ever since.
Okay.
Got out, traveled.
Are you from a musical family?
No, not at all.
No kidding. So, what happened that you picked up the flute?
I started on piano. We had a old player piano in the house, and I used to put those rolls in it and watch those go by and watch the keys and try and play the piano.
Okay.
And I'd try and figure out what the piano was doing. And I took piano lessons for a few years, and then after that, when my elementary school offered band, I told Mom I wanted to play, and she goes, "Well, what do you want?" And I said, "Well, clarinet." And she goes, "Well, what's your second choice?" Because moms always want the second choice.
Right.
And I didn't have one, so I'm thinking small, because I had to walk a couple miles to school. And so I'm thinking small. I go, flute. She goes, all right, well, I'm going to look around, and whichever one I can find the cheapest, that's the one you're going to play. And then she found a neighbor with a flute for $40, and so that's what I started playing.
All right. Tell us about the first band you played with and your experience with them.
My first real professional experience, I guess, would be the Army right out of high school. I played in a couple of, smaller, high school type groups, but, I was 17 when I went in, and that was pretty much it.
Oh, you were young, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was looking into your, and all the listeners should check out Bradley's website. That's www.bradleyleighton, BradleyLeighton.com. And he has a video there about his...
Footguy.com, man. That's all I need to know. That gets you there, too.
Right.
All those letters are hard sometimes.
That's right. That's right. And I noticed in the video you said you were in Korea for a while.
Yeah.
What was the difference playing there during that time?
The difference is pretty much the same as any time that you go, as far as a jazz player goes. Whenever you leave the United States, you're going to be going to some place where the quality, they're used to a less quality of players than what we have here.
Gotcha.
So you can go from here and go to some place like that and immediately be at the top of the heap, pretty much. And that's there's good and bad to that. But at the time that I was back there in 1980, there was one jazz club in the country, and there were 4 or 5 of us Americans that played it. And that was it.
That was it.
But everybody's come up. The level of musicianship around the world is everybody always keeps rising, and there's lots of fine players coming out of lots of different areas right now.
That's very true. That's very true. When you start out playing, a lot of artists have different about this question. Did you have any doubts when you started as a musician that you would be successful, or did you start out wanting to be successful?
I had no idea. I had no idea, and I had no real goal other than I just enjoyed playing, and that was what I wanted to do. And, the making money part and surviving, that's the part that, 99% of the musicians are bad at that. Right? And it's it should be the first thing on our minds. So it only took, let's see, like almost 30 years.
Wow.
Of just, doing my thing until Donna came along and said, well, here, this is how you do this.
Mm-hmm.
And we started, and started doing things the right way, and people started to take notice, and here we are.
Speaking of money, have you ever played music you did not like in order to make money?
Oh, gosh, yeah.